Welcome back to another episode of Boyz Love Kingdom Legendary War. I, as always, am Adam.
And I'm RJ.
Thank you so much. Welcome back. This week we are recapping episode 2 from the legendary 2021 mnet series that stands alone. You know what I mean?
A solo show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, independent of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Untethered, unbound.
Shall we discuss, before we get into the episode,
your feelings?
Shall we discuss my feelings?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I genuinely did not know that us short naming them Stray, like when we talk about them,
yes,
is weird.
Yeah.
Now, some people found it very charming. They thought it was very cute. I have talked about Stray Kids to many people over the years that I have been into K-pop.
Yeah. Many of them are stay.
Many of them are stay.
Like, go see their shows, buys all the albums.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like there's no way that I've never said
Stray.
Like, I haven't not said Stray by itself.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked that this is how I'm finding out that I am in the wrong. I will choose for my spirit to never say skiz. I think that sounds like a word that I should not be saying on this channel for the people at home. And so I will not be saying skiz. I will probably still say stray. I will do my best to just say Stray Kids now.
Yeah.
Because I know.
Well, it's still stray. I think typing
say.
Skiz.
Oh yeah, I always abbreviate it when I'm writing.
A lot of people were like, I've never said it out loud.
I didn't know you pronounce it. I didn't know people pronounced the three letters like that.
Because I thought
because the boyz is TBZ. I wouldn't be like
Tibbs.
Tibbs.
Exactly. I didn't know.
Skiz and Tibbs.
I didn't know you pronounced it.
Yeah, I had no idea. But I probably will be now doing all that I can to annoy you in the ways that I can call Stray Kids different names.
Yeah.
So just a forewarning. That segues me into Tibbs.
Tibbs'
fandom.
From Skibs to Tibbs.
From Skibs
to Tibbs. Tibbs.
I just want to. I feel like. Well, I think for some groups, for a lot of the fandoms of this show, that were there to watch their group do well.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure the groups are turning out good performances. Yeah. Obviously, there is going to be fandom. That is the point of the show. Is to have fandom war. Let me say, if you did not keep up with us during December when we went through all the boys' music videos. And squealed and screamed and squealed some more. Let me assure you, we are not here to denigrate the boys. So I want you to take a breath before you leave the comment. Just think about, did we say anything mean? Did we say anything vitriolic? Or did we just say, I think both the boys and Stray Kids did well this episode. I think we need to think about these things. We did not watch Road to Kingdom. There could be a point at some point in the future down the line we watch Road to Kingdom.
This is not how it worked. So
I think from what I understand, the boys created this type of intense performance style in Kingdom.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate. They created this in this show format. Mm-hmm. They did not create the genre of performance in totality.
Yeah.
Okay? So we all need to breathe. We all need to take a breath. I think it's all going to be fine. I'm having a great time with the boys.
I'm really enjoying the show. So
I thought we were just having fun.
I really thought we were just having fun. We posted this first episode. It was so much fun. We were kikiing. All the performances
and
were
I would
fun.
say 98% of the comments were like, isn't this fun?
Yes.
What a great time to relive this show.
But because we are who we are and still read every comment, it's like, well. Well.
I'm having a great time.
I thought we were all having fun.
I'm not going to come in and I'm not going to have the contrarian. You are really never going to get from this channel the contrarian opinion. Genuinely. We're not. I don't seek out that kind of energy and I don't give that kind of energy.
Yeah.
So if you thought I was going to come in here and be like, actually, Stray Kids is bad. That's probably not going to happen.
No,
so if you're hoping that throughout the course of the show, I go, they shouldn't have won and they should have flopped and actually been eliminated and sent home, it's probably not going to happen. Hyunjin not being there is a flop.
Yeah.
That's a flop.
That's a big flop.
Right? We love Hyunjin. But I don't think we're gonna come in with any hot takes about being like these
outside
groups are
of what
bad.
already happened with the show, that it's way past.
Because really, we're not recapping the competition, like because really the competition, like this is the bizarre thing. The competition is they win a reality show.
They win free publicity for a week.
They win Shark Week.
Yeah, they get a Shark Week on mnet channel. I don't know.
Sure.
CJ Entertainment's
SBS,
conglomerate.
whoever.
Yeah.
Whatever. They win that. So it's not like...
And like... They've all won. They've all won.
They win by the fact that after this, we're going to go watch all their music videos.
Yeah.
And like
and
do all the stuff.
And probably start collecting SF9 photo cards.
Right.
Probably start a Felix Hyunjin album.
Right.
Just theirs.
We've already begun
with
the boys.
With the boys.
And the ateez.
Yeah.
Just take a breath. Just take a breath.
We're just having fun.
Because we're just having fun. And we're just here to talk about how good these performances are because they're so good. Yeah. Right? Okay.
It's like we're talking.
I don't want to scold anybody.
We don't want to be teachers.
And I get people feel very passionate about the groups they love. I also feel very passionate about the groups I love. If TXT was on the show, I'm sure I would be a little claws out about it. If somebody was like, TXT isn't that great. Like if they were like, I don't like TXT the way they do choreo, I'd be like, well, you actually don't know anything. Well, actually, you don't have taste.
Well, that's the thing. Now that you said that, people are gonna be like, oh, well, you're Moa, so clearly that's where your opinion is. Okay.
I just
don't watch the show. I don't know what to tell you, Tamar. This one you don't actually watch the show. Because we're literally, the show is done. We just want to see the men.
We just want to see the men.
Have fun.
And we just want to hear them do well.
Yeah.
I just don't. I just really.
It did sit with you a lot all week.
It did sit with me a lot, mostly because I was immediately like, I can't do 10 weeks of this. I can't do 10 weeks of people being like, actually, it's because if you go actually about a simple opinion that I have about being like, I said the craziest part is
we liked the boys.
The boys I liked. And I said, I'm pretty sure in the episode, and maybe I didn't, and maybe that's on me, but I'm pretty sure I said it had my favorite moment of all the performances, which is when they went into the arabesque.
Yeah. And the thing too, for me, it was like, I don't want this to be 11 weeks of litigating. Yes, we should have watched Road to Kingdom because we're already watching. We're not going to stop halfway through and be like, let's stop, watch all of Road to Kingdom to then have the same opinion that we came into now of like, yeah, the boys deserved to win or whatever. They really did that in Road to Kingdom.
I think the other thing that's interesting to me is like, I think because...
And maybe they will have better performances in Road to Kingdom than what we see here in Kingdom.
I definitely don't think if they did, I don't think I would lead with that when you're informing someone about their performance on the show. Because they're still doing well. I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Anyway.
So let's get these scores from the first episode.
We're just having fun.
So based on streaming or something,
all of those,
all of the live stream
based
votes,
on the pie chart.
Yeah, no. From that the intro stages,
the live
stream votes or whatever. So in 5th place was ateez, 4th place is SF9, 3rd is btob, 2nd is the boys, which makes Stray Kids number 1, and in last place is ikon.
Everyone, all the other groups were gagged. ikon, I think, like took it in stride, but Jay, their leader, was like very sad and disappointed about it.
Yeah, I do think we said it last week too. But I think they were like the older groups were like, we're just gonna come and do like a well polished
intro stage,
like music bank performance.
Yeah.
Not whatever the fuck the younger groups are doing, which is like full high concept.
Yeah. Agreed.
There was 120,000 vote difference between Stray Kids and the boys.
Yeah,
which is huge.
And I think that's telling that, like, I told Adam, I think this was telling that it feels like it's gonna be Strayana versus the boys all season.
Yeah.
It's gonna be neck and neck.
Yeah, probably.
Even though it's a steep difference in voting, so I'm curious if there ever will be who gets really close. Does the boys really actually get that close?
Yeah.
You know,
because spoiler alert, we know who wins.
Yeah. It's hard to not.
So there's no way to have started the show and not know.
And I think I remember when I first started getting into Stray Kids, it was thunderous, and I remembered seeing thumbnails of the Kingdom stages, like because I started subscribing to K-pop channels. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess Stray Kids just won a show.
Yeah, because this starts airing. This starts airing in like April of 2021.
Yeah.
They shot the first episode in like February. They say in this episode that they shot the second challenge on March 10th, 2021. So the theme of the first challenge, which is this week and next week, is called To the World. So because Stray Kids had won, they got to pick the order for this week. So the first three groups that we are talking about in today's episode are the boyz, ikon, and btob. Okay?
Correct.
Let's start with the boyz. Okay? The boyz, I will say, are performing No Air.
I can't.
A song that
you can't get
I think we talked about, we liked in December. They're having a big conversation. Okay, so what I think is very interesting about the boyz, and I think honestly would probably be the worst part about doing the show as the boyz at this point, is that, and this is basically verbatim what they say, is like, we did everything we could in Road to Kingdom, so how do we keep going?
Yeah.
And I do think there is a level of, like, they just are throwing everything at the wall.
There's a little bit of creative exhaustion. They're like tired.
Totally.
Yeah.
I would be so exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted.
Because this is coming on the heels of Road to Kingdom. It's not like there was like a full year in between or anything like that.
You had a lot of thoughts coming into this week, and then when we watched this reaction,
it's because like I felt like I was like, oh my god, I'm becoming a Dobby in like December. I was like feeling my zhuzh. I was getting it. I was fully falling in love with Changmin. We were having a whole kiki. We were joking about Eric and his sweatpants. We were having fun. We were having so much fun. And I was like, I had always resisted the boyz because I was like, I know it's going to be a deep dive group for me. Like, I know
I'm going to get obsessed.
That's going to be the group that I'm like, oh God, here we go. So that's why I was like, oh my God, we finally did it. I'm finally a Dobby. I feel vindicated. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about this group with people. I'm so excited to share ideas. Passion salon in France. Exactly. Yeah. And then people were like, no.
No, they're not just known to be smiley group. Bloom Bloom Pow is not the song that defined them. Diva, who said that? We said they were smiling and cute.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my God. Which is so...
I was so excited to be a Dobby. Okay.
Yeah.
So they have this conversation. They bring up options of songs to do. Mm-hmm. I think what's very interesting is one of the songs that they bring up as an option. I think it's Hyunjae. And then Youngoon
was like,
oh yeah, for sure. Was Bloom Bloom. Now maybe they're joking. Maybe they hate Bloom Bloom. Maybe they think bright songs are shit. I don't know. But it didn't seem like that was the energy. And so I just thought it was funny because I felt like I used that last week as like an example of like songs that I think of at this point in their trajectory, their chronology was kind of more nice guys songs.
Yeah.
Not like... They weren't sexy group.
Pretty boy songs.
Pretty boy songs. Sometimes they were a little moodier.
Yeah.
But it's always like boys in rooms, looking at the camera, high contrast, shadows, all of that. Okay?
Yeah. Gorgeous face. Yeah.
Gorgeous face. Models in rooms. Okay? Yeah. That's the vibe. Maybe that was lost in translation.
I know they were kind of joking. Like Sangyeon was even saying like, I think we would have won. We would have won first place if we sang Bloom Bloom.
I mean, probably not. I don't think Bloom Bloom is like a great song. No. I think it's like it's fun and it's a song more in my style.
But I could tell they were probably having conversations of like, let's do something lighter or different than what we've done all of Road to Kingdom, which were all epic stages. What if we did something super light like Bloom Bloom Pow, and they all probably were like, no, we should come in strong.
But that's what I think is like the problem with like the Kingdom, like calling it Kingdom, whatever, but like emphasizing that it's like an epic battle, like framing it in these terms instead of just like do great stages makes it feel like their groups are never going to choose a bright song to be like, oh, this is an epic version of that. So like, but to be clear, I think like ateez and Stray kind of have that lane narrowed,
that the boys have more like variety in their
because
music
they do so many different concepts.
Because they have those brighter songs that they can utilize and be like, let's do a full flower field.
I don't think they would have won if they did Bloom Bloom. I don't think the show thinks bright songs are like a good for this concept, this idea of a show. Yeah. And I really don't think the audience would go along with it either. Like I don't think they would reward
They would have to
especially coming off Road to Kingdom with all these epic stages and then pivot straight into bright. I don't think that would have worked, to be clear. But I do think there probably strategy-wise should be a tone shift so that it feels like, okay, well, now we're pivoting to a new concept, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they end up choosing No Air.
So they do Song of Fire, Song of Fire and Ice. So it's like love between two opposing things. And so it's like love lost in the gig.
Was it?
Yes.
That was the gig?
That's why they did the underwater thing, because it's like, it's got to feel like I'm trying to like reach out to the other person, but I can't because we're different.
Okay, so they did the underwater thing. They go, they did
Tyra Banks. They did America's Next Top Model.
They did America's Next Top Model in a tank.
Yeah.
Juyeon, I can't even believe is a real person.
We just watched his jewel box on Patreon for his birthday, or that'll release.
It'll release tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, he looks great. Hyunjae and Nu look great.
Sanu was scared.
It was very sweet. As someone who's also a little scared of water, I probably wouldn't be super scared in a tank like that. But I don't know how to hold my breath without plugging my nose.
That's the scary part, because it's like when you're watching it, it looks like you're all the way deep. I mean, it is deep. Like
when I was little, or when I was younger, I should say, and I was like, I'm gonna be an actor one day. I was like. There were a lot of movies, I feel like, that had like underwater scenes? Acting scenes.
So you were trying to
No, I was like, I would never be able to do... there's no way I'd be able to do this. Like, I specifically remember like Patrick Wilson in Phantom of the Opera when he like falls down the well or whatever and gets caught and
almost
has to like almost yeah. And I was like,
which is funny because now watching Itzy and they fully were like,
no, that was oh my god,
bones in the middle of the ocean, like having to like practice how to breathe through a tank to be like, okay, yes, good.
No. I would have had to quit. I would have been like, sorry, I cannot do this. You have to get a stunt. I don't know, girl. I cannot do this. I think I just start to panic, and that's you cannot
panic underwater because there's what?
No air. Diva. So anyway,
it's very sweet that Youngwon went with him.
Yeah, I love that. And I like that they've always seemed like sweet boys. Which is another thing they didn't like that I said last week either.
Dobby didn't like you calling them sweet boys?
They did not like that. I don't think that's every concept of theirs, but I think
they are sweet boys.
But I even think of like even the darker toned ones, like Maverick, like the ones where it was like the vampire ones, like there's still like a
there's still a level of like
longing and like there's still a sincerity to it that it doesn't matter. I don't want to do this every week. Okay.
I don't want to fight fandoms every week.
I don't want to fight a fandom. I feel like I was just... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Adam's very hurt. He feels very sad. Because he really was getting into being a Dobby. Because he really likes the boys. Q was going to be an alt. Q is an alt. but then it just felt like,
It is funny because I feel like there's a lot of like, I mean, we can generally just talk about fandom because I think this show is dominated by fandom in a very specific way that most shows we have watched do not really engage with.
Yeah.
I think fandom, a lot of it, there is a level that fandom can turn. I am not saying that I'm being turned off by Dobby. I do want to be clear. I'm a little joking with you guys.
Yeah.
But like, I do think there is a level that you can start to associate a group with a fandom that you have negative connotations with, and that bleeds into your thoughts of that group.
Yeah.
And what's frustrating is like, the objective, I feel like, of most people in a fandom, unless you're truly trying to gatekeep, which like is silly, especially in K-pop where it's like they have to hit numbers in order to like be continuous. That like I think it's like best to be a warm, welcoming, like, oh, like I want to share this.
Oh my gosh, you're getting into
thing with
that.
you.
Let me show you my favorite videos,
which is like why it's so fun for us when we do our reactions, especially with like the beloved of the month stuff, because like people come out and they say like, oh, like you didn't get this, but like it never feels like it's like, well,
you're not getting it because
it's more just like, oh, like I'm so excited that you're seeing this idea like come alive. And for some people, like, people are just not going to be in a group because that's not like the style of like whatever they're into or whatever. But fandom is so weird, and like there's like, it's fun when it's fun, and when it sucks, there's no like middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no like, oh, it just kind of is. Yeah. It's like fandom lives in the highs and low lows.
Yeah. And like it is discouraging sometimes, like when I hear from our friends that are like, oh, I used to be at this fandom, but it got really bad for whatever reason. Yeah. And then they feel like they can't listen to that music anymore. That makes me really sad, because it's so like that's not what the music was created for. And like I could only think of like, if the artist knew that that's how you felt, they might feel like responsible for that. And I would never want that, just because art in itself, that's not how it should.
Yeah. And I think obviously like there's a full discussion we could have around like social media in the way that it like cultivates fandom online spaces, and like the way that the media has become so fractured that there's no monolithic pop culture anymore, that like you just sequester to your own. Like truly that's what we do on our channel. Yeah, like we have fully left and we are like fully K-pop, BL, like that's really just all we engage with. Pop music is popular music. Like that is the genre. So that's why pop music over the landscape of years changes sounds, because it's just whatever is current, it's whatever is trending. Right. And when it's all framed in that way, it's always becomes about like numbers and about like who's doing the best,
who's charting, blah 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 blah.
Right. Blah. Yeah. And I that is like an area that I don't care. I just want to hear what's good.
Yeah, I mean I love when I know that the artists that I really love are successful and they're doing well.
Totally.
Right? Like seeing X-Love like do great, it's like because we know them, that's exciting. And there's
to be clear, we don't know them. We know to be clear. I mean, if
you do know us. And there's that want or desire as a fan to see your faves like do well like that. But it just sucks when it gets turned. And I mean, like, genuinely, that's why Ryan and I made the Ampliverse, is to be this is a place for you to be a fan without feeling the need to feel like you can enjoy this and exclude others from enjoying it. You love it so much that you want to talk about it and to bring other people into. I think we were just very shocked at how people reacted to last week. And once again, it's not everyone.
No, it's always a minority.
But it was just like,
you'll clean this up in post, make it seem coherent.
I'll try. So they continue this like Game of Thrones story. They do like a POV element. So like,
I mean, they're doing like 12 things at once.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers.
Bonkers. I mean, Ooyoung said it while they were watching it. Like, oh, they keep talking about how they have no more ideas. And then they do this one and there's like chock full of ideas, right?
Yeah.
And I commend the boys, even though I'm sure it is exhausting and I'm sure it feels like, what can we do next?
Right.
The fact that they're able to do so much in such a small space and it feels like, oh, you're not confined to just what you have, was crazy. I mean, the camera was moving from place to place. Sunwoo was hanging from one arm and like they were using like the screen in the back to make it look like he was falling.
There is a dynamism in their performances that is like exceeds expectation.
Yes.
Like
you don't expect what they utilize to be put in a K-pop performance.
There is no part of the screen that is like unused.
Yeah.
There is no part of the stage that goes unremarked upon. Like every detail has every element is detailed to some degree, and I think like that's the beauty of the performance, and it's also like its downfall. By that I simply mean that there's almost like we need to take one thing off.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a Jocelyn Fox performance or like outfit where it's like just lose the necklace.
Take one thing off.
And then it's fine. Cuz like there was a part of it where I was like, this is so impressive, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be focusing on.
Right.
Because we're just going from like thing to thing to thing to thing, and it's all really cool and really effectively done and like very clear, but there's almost like there's no, it just keeps building.
Yeah.
And there's no like peaks and valleys.
I am going to blame cameras again because the camera work in the POV with
This
the hands
and the
with
icon
gloves.
one.
Yeah. I don't
Girl,
know what's
what?
going on?
I don't know. Flop.
BT must have been working Kingdom because camera direction was not good.
No.
The POV with the hands is really interesting, but there was nothing that connected from leaving that and then going into the regular kind of mnet camera work, like that regular camera work that I think led to that feeling of like, what am I supposed to follow? Because like, I was following this with the hands and I'm like fucking watching Skyrim on drag because it's like nails. Literally, that's what I feel like. It's Skyrim.
High elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it would disappear and it would be like, you know, a full like masquerade ball, like evil masquerade ball or whatever. And then we're back into it. And then Juyeon is like dancing on a, like all of the pieces are great, but the connecting one thing to the other was like lacking for me.
Yeah. That's like truly my only note.
Yeah.
I just wanted there to be like more of a clear narrative through line, I think, because it just felt like we were going from one great idea that someone had in a brainstorm to another great idea that someone had in a brainstorm.
Yes, exactly.
Because I think they're all really cool.
Yeah.
And they're like impressive in the way that they're executed. But that was the only thing that I was like, oh, I kind of almost wished it had been more
of one thing
of like the POV, like really lean into the fact that it's like a video game.
Yes,
like that would have been really cool
if it was just that one camera the entire time. I wish it was.
Yeah.
Or find a way to transition from that camera into like a big swooping camera to see all of the dance, and then all of a sudden go back into that one camera. Like there was a way to transition. I really liked the production of the song, though. I liked that they stripped down Nowhere. It was like, it was sad. Like, it was like,
yeah, I think they act the hell out of the song.
Yeah, it was like a tragedy of a song that, like dramatically tragic. That I thought that was really good, and I loved. That
I just think like Juyeon is so good.
Juyeon is like a fucking like prodigy. I swear to God. Like when he started dancing against like a sheet.
Yes, no, that I like genuinely. Like what an insane idea.
I know, right?
And it like makes full sense and like works
totally.
But then like he's not just doing it, like he's really putting his whole Juyusi
on it. I know. He really is.
And I was like, damn. They do that.
Yes.
And that I think is like the boyz thing, like, right? Like when they do a concept, they do the concept.
Yes, yeah.
This is not like, oh, this week we're like trying out like a blah blah blah. Like they're like engaging with it fully. That I think is always really impressive.
And holistic, all parts of the production is that concept.
Yeah. I really loved the Sunu hanging from the thing.
I know.
And the like projection to make it look like he was he was like being raised.
Yeah. I liked the like little masquerade ball.
Yeah,
that's
like
why
the
I was
zombie
like,
ball,
that's why I was
White
like, I wish it
Walker.
just kind of connected with the rest, or it was just that like ballroom thing. Because it was like, okay, are you giving me kind of Romeo plus Juliet with like this, you know, fire and ice?
They fully don't show Nu when he has his high note, and I was like,
what are we doing?
Hello. Anyway.
Yeah, I just maybe if there is a note that I would give Kingdom, let's figure out these cameras. Queendom 2 had a proscenium stage. It's this kind of like similar stage to what they used to Queendom and like all the mnet shows afterwards. Yeah. I think it's because it's like an island stage.
Well, they're using
empty stage.
Yeah.
Like what is that, promenade?
It's almost like the idea was like, well, because we don't have an audience, we can just use the whole space.
Yeah.
Which is true, but then you have to like do it well.
Yes.
Like
the thing that I don't like about the following camera or like moving the camera around, whatever, is you can see the scenes in the middle. So like I see camera crew in there.
I mean, it's always gonna look like that, but I just think like of the 3 that we saw today, I feel like this one was the one where I was like, I could see the most crew.
I can see the most crew. Yeah.
Up next is Ikon.
Ikon. So when they were trying to decide what song they did, I swear they did this on purpose because they were like, well, we could do this song. They literally named all of their songs and like played little bits of their videos, and I'm like, was this set up?
Diva, this was a 30-minute phone conversation. Like it was so
3 people
long.
Yeah.
And I was like, which is because B2B gets like a 6-minute package of them eating pizza.
Yes. And I kind of was like, well, let's call Chani from SF9, and then let's call our winner Sunbae Neems.
Yeah.
And compare notes. But literally they went through all of their songs.
Yep.
But the thing is, it's cool to see them talk about it like this because they obviously have the biggest breadth of discography.
I mean, it is interesting to be like,
what's the strategy?
What's the strategy? But also, like, they're actually choosing this. It's like these groups themselves are getting together and saying like, oh, let's do No
this
Air,
song
let's
because,
do Love Scenario, blah, 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 Scenario. Instead of like, an edict was handed down from mnet of being like, blah,
hey,
blah,
do
blah, blah,
this.
here's your option.
It's not like a traditional survival show with trainees where it's like, these are all your approved songs. Pick one.
Right. The only thing that's weird, though, is they have to do... Because the only other Queendom Kingdom that I watched was Queendom Puzzle. And that was, like, kind of like a
project group formation.
Yeah,
thing.
So it was, like, kind of a mix of both ideas. Right. So Icon ends up choosing Love Scenario and Killing Me as, like, as a Glee mashup.
As a Glee mashup. So Love Scenario is, like, their most well-known song. And so they were really just trying to figure out.
They
like,
really played that in the episode, and I was like, "Oh my god, I know this one!" And then they were like, "This is our most famous song," and I was like,
"Oh well." Just because they knew they wanted to lead with that because that's the power of like, well, if we're gonna get people to vote, let's vote for the song that they all know. But then to pair it, to mash it up with a song that will define kind of like the tone or the genre of the remix that they're doing, I thought was a really good idea. And they were just basically figuring out like, what could we pair it with?
I think it's smart. I think the only week I feel like you could do your biggest number is like the first week.
Totally.
Don't do it like the third. That's crazy. Yeah. Do like the last thing you do. They were like, oh, we need to focus on we need to have a storyline. That was like their big thing. This is interesting because both them and B2B come out of that first intro stage and are like, oh, we have to have it can't just be, oh, we're doing a performance. Like, it has to be a whole thing.
We have to come up with a story.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting that they got a little spooked by their juniors, which is very clear. And they go with this,
It's a musical.
It's a musical.
And it's a musical.
And it's a musical.
It was kind of giving La La Land tea in the beginning. It starts with Bobby like break with a girl, and then the girl disappears to show that they're having a break. That it's a breakup song.
Yeah.
And then they sing Love Scenario, and then like DK like faints, and then like
he is Michael Jackson comes down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then he dies.
He dies. He like goes up another platform just to fall, which Adam gagged at.
I love a
bitch. Give me a dance fall.
Do you remember when Fifth Harmony did the one where they pushed the bitch off?
The bitch off.
Love it. I love it. I gag every time.
Yeah.
Somebody falling off a thing and we don't see where they're falling. It always works. It's never
Gaga
not
Super
worked.
Bowl.
Yes, Gaga Super Bowl. Anything like that, it eats.
To be able to put a concept like a musical on it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting that you even wanted to go there and that you like wanted to do it properly.
Yeah,
so
it was
you,
fun.
Did a choreography. It was very impressive. I guess I just always thought that they would be like, oh, we're too cool to do that.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see them like, no, we want to like play the game.
Yeah, we want to do it.
Yeah.
Which I think is why I would probably never enjoy Show Me the Money. Because Show Me the Money is all about being cool.
Yeah, and it's stressful. It's just like rapping.
Bitch, at my big age.
At your dragon age. At my... Yeah.
I have never been cool. I am not currently cool. And I never will be cool.
Yeah.
So that's just like... That means nothing to me.
Yeah.
The only time I like the cool thing is like when somebody's trying to be cool and then they fail at it. Like Jay in Island.
Yes.
Where it was like his whole goal was to be cool and then he couldn't help but not. He was uncool at every possible turn in like an endearing way.
Yeah.
I really had fun with this. Can we talk just real quick about Song's body tee?
Song's body tee.
His little mesh shirt.
Something about being able to see the definition through a dark mesh shirt.
Oh.
We kept pausing and rewinding and going through frame by frame just to make sure that like my eyes weren't playing a trick on me because of
trick of the light, trick of the light. Yeah.
No, those are
squares.
Ridged.
Yeah.
Ridged in. Ooh, he is so cute. He has a little cooking YouTube channel. He's a little short king.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's Miss J for me.
Yeah?
The little cutie. He's so tiny.
He's little.
And like the fact that he's the leader and he's like, he was very like, he took it very seriously that like they were 6. Like he was really sad about it. And like.
That they were 6?
Yeah.
Oh, 6th place.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the number of members. Yes.
I don't know. It just endeared me. And I watched a video of him making out with a member of Winner.
Hello.
What's that? That's what I'm saying. Bring this back. This is the energy I want from my K-pop artists.
Right.
Clubbing. Pretending to make out to make the Fujos like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Come on. So
B2B,
the song that they end up choosing is Missing You.
Yes.
They again, similar to...
Go through their discography.
Right.
They were like, I think we gotta dance.
Well, it's so interesting because they're first like, I think we have to do a performance. And then they just go back to... They circle all the way back around to doing a ballad.
They circle all the way back to like, what are the songs that people will know us from?
Yeah.
And when they got to Missing You, I was like, maybe it's like we take one of our famous ballads, and then incorporate dance and perform it. I think this was the way to go. I think it's more interesting. It's like the Icon thing where it's like, take what people know about us and then like plus it.
Yeah. I think the song choice is great. I think I don't know how Stray Kids like figured this out of like the order, because I don't think they knew each other's orders. They only knew their own number.
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah.
And I don't know, like the order of the songs that none of them are similar. Like none of these performances are alike at all, and it looks like next week it's going to be similar. Where it doesn't feel like everybody's doing their own thing. So, I mean, it's like great as an audience member to watch this because I'm just being fully fed meals each time I'm watching something.
Yeah, like a VMA show.
And like it works in their benefit, honestly, because if you don't have somebody that's directly doing the same idea as you, then like there's not as strict of a which one was better?
Which one was better?
Right?
Yeah.
So they go with like a traditional
Korean. Yes, they're using traditional instruments in the remix, which is really nice. It's so pretty. Mm-hmm. And
bitch, I live for a cherry blossom.
Bitch,
as a bitch who grew up without a cherry blossom in sight,
I love it.
The idea. When I'll get on my Animal Crossing, when I'll open my little island
Spring,
up.
Bitch.
Spring.
Those 4 days.
Yeah, that 1 week of cherry blossom week.
Cherry blossoms. I'll get on there.
Yeah.
I'll catch my little petals. I like that they use different visual elements too in the like traditional Korean. So they had like the giant panels, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, the shadows.
And then, I mean, like the forest was so cool.
Their
big killing moment. Their killing point is this like full sword fight that Minhyuk like choreographed, like the stage choreograph.
It makes no sense with this song, but I was like, bitch, I don't care.
I wish they had like a, because if the song is like Missing You and they have this fight scene, I wish there was something of like he's fighting for someone.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like they should have had like a villain, like a Joseon villain holding like a woman or like a princess.
Yeah.
And like Minhyuk like fighting all those like assassins basically.
Yeah. It was still cool as hell though.
Yeah. Oh, this man.
And
Adam, there was a moment where Adam was like, Minhyuk makes an effort to compliment the visuals of other groups
members, yeah.
And will always highlight how beautiful they are. Or how nice their bodies look.
Well, I mean, as we know now in 2025, and he's like
he's profile
full
T.
buff Subin.
Yeah.
LOL.
LOL.
He's full like.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
I would say it's very impressive that he does this. Period, because like, it's such a big ask. For just him. Like they all have a little solo moment in the song.
Yes, yeah.
But it's like crazy to be like, and then you're gonna carry the entire thing on your back for like 30 seconds.
Because I think like genuinely he's the one that has the sword fighting background from his drama. Mm-hmm. And I think he's like their dancer too. So it's like it's a lot to ask.
Yeah. It's great. When you go to take that fucking hanbok off,
I thought he was gonna be.
You should have been nude under there.
Those
at least shirtless. Like, I was like, he's gonna be shirtless.
I know, and then it just reveals. It's a pussycat wig revealing another pussycat wig.
And it was
a hanbok revealing another hanbok. And I was like, oh, damn it, girl. Come on.
It's beautiful. Like dark blue silk.
Yeah,
really
but we were already seeing. That's what we have seen him in the Talking Heads all episode. So that's why I was like, oh.
Well, that's what he wears in the first part. Because he like puts it on the thing and then takes it off. And I was like,
I want to see some titties.
Listen.
Man.
Just a little something.
I mean,
like the appetite.
SF9 didn't perform, but we were just glued on Daewon's like bosoms. Literally, he was just sitting there, and we were like,
crazy. Hello? Can I get a peek?
Yes.
Eunkwang's voice is crazy.
Yeah, and I mean,
Put at the back. No, you know what Eunkwang is giving?
Put at the back.
Eunkwang is giving.
Put at the back. 7 days a week. That's Eunkwang. Literally. Yeah. 7 days a week. Yeah, him and Changsub just have they like match vibratos, which is really crazy.
Yeah, the like.
Yeah,
the wave. Oof. Yeah. Well, it's good. I would say.
I need to see a full B2B ballad concert. I need a B2B in concert at the Lyric Opera.
Like in a theater that's like built for acoustics, so they don't need a microphone. Oh my God. I would die. I would pick of these three, I would still pick the boys because I just think their commitment to like acting it.
I know.
Like they did the whole,
and
like,
they say it. They know that like we'll pay it off in how we like
convey
the emotions.
Yeah, the emotions. Yeah. And I think it really does. I like all that, like it's a little like we made fun of it, like the America's Next Top Model water. But
they knocked it out of the park. The photos look so good.
The photos look good, and also like they really do. There is a struggle in that song,
and they take it seriously that like they can emote in these, because I think sometimes it's like,
I mean, that's musical theater. Mama.
That's musical theater. I know. Just look at the spectrum of the members. Of course, they know how to access that, honey.
Hello.
So, I was telling Adam, I did notice. I think this is when Kevin is either sick or injured, but he's like barely in the song.
Oh yeah, because he had mentioned in something that we watched in December that he like felt bad that
he couldn't do
Kingdom.
Much
he couldn't
Kingdom.
Like help.
Yeah. So I think this is seeing it, but I mean, they still utilize him.
Yeah.
It's not have Kim Seok-jin sit in a stool. Have Santa sit in a stool. Oh my God, I'm still traumatized.
I'm still traumatized
by Fantasy fucking Boyz. I
Fantasy
swear to God.
Boyz will stay with me till the day I die.
Well, we're excited to see part 2. That camera died. So have a great night and see you next week.
We're running on fumes.